Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, cricket is like a religion in India. We have been producing some of the greats of the game, of course, right here. Make in India has been the big push. Of course, you can name him Sunil Gavaskar, you have Sachin Tendulkar, you have Virat Kohli, you name it, and you have the biggest names coming up from our very soil. But there's yet another player who is aspiring to join that list, and his name, well, if you watched the match last night, it is, of course, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Well, Suryavanshi announced himself to the world last night with a century that he managed to hit against the Gujarat Titans. And not just any century, this 14-year-old smashed a century in merely 39 balls in the IPL last night. Well, he has the world at his feet at this young age. Playing in the IPL under the mentorship of none other than Rahul Dravid, and against the legends of the game itself, he announced himself to the world. It is, like his own words, a dream come true. Well, he is adorable, isn't it? But how much do we really know about this young boy behind the cricketer of great acclaim and fame that he's suddenly become? Well, let's first trace through the steps that have helped Vaibhav become this teen sensation. Well, he was born on 27th of March 2011. He's merely 14 years of age. In fact, this was in Bihar, Samastipur. He started playing cricket from the age of 4 itself. He made his first class debut at the age of 12. And after that, he became the youngest player to play in the IPL at the age of 14. But let's not forget that Suryavanshi shattered almost all the records during his once-in-a-lifetime innings against Gujarat last night. In fact, let's tell you all the records that this young boy of 14 has managed to smash. Well, he was the youngest centurion of the IPL. It was also the fastest IPL century by any Indian. He was the youngest man of the match in the IPL as well. And it was the joint most number of sixes which were hit by any Indian in the IPL. So those are the records that he managed to smash out of the field last night. But of course, talent ran in Vaibhav Suryavanshi's blood from a very young age, it appears. Not that he is much older since the time he started. Remember, it was only 4 years old when he began his cricketing journey. Well, the video that we are going to show for you is going to be a very interesting one. Well, this one will show Vaibhav Suryavanshi when he was merely 10 years old. You can see that video on your screens, practicing in the Barsati on his chat. This is during the COVID pandemic. He was practicing on the terrace of his own house. But look at the determination in his eyes. Look at the technique that he uses even at that age when he was merely 10 years old. Look at the focus that he had. And many people are talking about that on social media. What were you doing when you were 14 years old? What were you doing when you were 10 years old? And that, remember, is a 10-year-old Suryavanshi. This boy was destined for greatness, is what many would say. Look at the focus that he had since that young age. So Vaibhav Suryavanshi's achievements, remember, have been at such a young age that this has led to several comparisons with none other than, yes, you got it right, the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. Is he the next Sachin Tendulkar that India is going to be producing? There's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement over him. And why not? After all, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, he started when he was 12 years, 284 days. And this is Sachin Tendulkar. He started at the age of 15 years, 232 days. So he started even earlier than Sachin Tendulkar did. Sachin Tendulkar was 15, remember, during that fantastic debut of his. So understandably, after smashing that century last night, there have been congratulatory messages which have been pouring in from across the cricketing world for Suryavanshi. Let's show you some of them. And since we were talking about the comparisons with Sachin Tendulkar, it's very apt that we start with what the Master Blaster had to say about Suryavanshi. He said he has a fearless approach. Now, these are words that he is going to savor for the rest of his life, is in high praise coming in from none other than the god of cricket himself. You also have Yuvraj Singh. He said, remember the name, already saying that he is a name which is going to be coming up time and again now, hopefully in the cricketing record books. You also have Shrikant, who has said India's next superstar. All these projections and predictions are coming in. Even Mohammad Shami has tweeted and he has said what an incredible talent that this young boy of 14 has shown. You have Mithali Raj, the former Indian cricketer as well, the captain, saying that she has witnessed history in making, and many people feel that we have seen something special if we got that match last night. But Suryavanshi, in his very young journey, has already seen a fair share of controversies. Isn't it interesting? Controversies have been around Vaibhav's age. The reports claim that he is actually 15 years old and not 14 years old, is what some have said. Former Pakistani cricketer has alleged this age fraud, but later Vaibhav's father has come out, he's clarified, and he has said that he has also passed the bone test. So this is a needless controversy which has been kicked up by many. Well, it would be safe to say Vaibhav Suryavanshi is a star for the future, someone we need to watch out for. And many would say it's not just the future, his future's already arrived. But does he have the temperament to fulfill his potential and become the next Sachin Tendulkar? Well, let's put that across to our guests. Well, we are joined by two very special people here on the show. We have Brajesh Jha, who is Vaibhav Suryavanshi's coach. We also have Ranjit Bajaj, the founder and director of Minerva Sports Academy. Also later on, we'll be joined by Arjun Dev, who's a coach and a talent scout. But let me first go across to the coach, and we're going to put up the picture also which has come in of Mr. Jha with Suryavanshi. It's very interesting when we look at these pictures of a very young Vaibhav Suryavanshi. आप ये बताइए कि आपने किस टाइम से वैभव को कोचिंग उसकी शुरू की? आपकी फोटो देख रहे हैं ब्रजेश झा जी हमारे स्क्रीन्स में आपकी वैभव के साथ. किस उम्र से आपने शुरू की वैभव की कोचिंग, एंड हाउ डिड यू नो ही वाज द वन? ब्रजेश झा, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी? आप शायद म्यूट पे है, आप अगर अनम्यूट कर ले. वेल वील ट्राई. जी आवाज आ रही है ब्रजेश झा जी, आवाज आ रही है.
जी मैम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. वैभव 5-6 वर्ष का जब था वो तब से क्रिकेट एकेडमी समस्तीपुर में हमारे पास आया था. आज इस मुकाम पे है वो.
जी थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, आपको सुन नहीं पा रहे. हम आपके पास वापस बनते हैं. We'll just come back to you and we have more question. We'll get that audio line fixed. Till then, let me go across to Ranjit Bajaj. Now, Ranjit, this is very interesting because this young boy, many are saying, was scouted by none other than Rahul Dravid himself. At that young age, how do you pick? And you also have a sports academy. How easy or how difficult is it to actually pick talent at that right age? And what is the right age after all?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, nowadays there's no right age. The younger you start, as is the proof with Vaibhav. Ma'am, you can see that he started at the age of 4. So if you want to be a world talent, that means you want to be a world beater, or somebody being compared to somebody like the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. So we have to make sure that we start at an age where we have an edge over people, edge over everybody else. So he already at the age of 14 has played a decade of cricket. How many 14-year-olds can say that? So the reason he is who he is because he started at the age of 4. And kudos to his coach, to his parents, to everyone who supported him. I think when you spot a talent like this and who's starting at that age and consistency at that age, that means a kid who wants to get up every morning and do the same thing again and again and again and again. And the visuals we are seeing right now on Times Now screens where a 10-year-old brilliant prodigy is practicing on the roof in the COVID times, that shows the discipline, that shows how focused he was. And at that age only, I'm sure everyone knew, especially his coach knew, that this boy is going to make it big.
Well, in fact, let me try and go back across to his coach, Brajesh Jha. We were trying to connect with you. आपको अगर मेरी आवाज आ रही थी, आपको ये पूछ रहा था कि आपने किस एज से सूर्यवंशी को ट्रेनिंग उनकी शुरू की थी? सुना है 4 साल से ही उन्होंने क्रिकेट का बैट उठाया है, मगर ट्रेनिंग कब से शुरू हुई?
जी मैम, वो 4-5 सालों से समस्तीपुर क्रिकेट एकेडमी में आके प्रैक्टिस करता था और बहुत लगनशील बच्चा रहा है. और आज जो मुकाम हासिल किया है वो 100% अपने मेहनत के बदौलत वो मुकाम हासिल किया. इतने छोटे से बच्चे समस्तीपुर से इतना दूर 14-15 किलोमीटर घर दूर होने के बाद रोज आके प्रैक्टिस करके घर जाना। इसलिए जो भी कुछ है वो अपने मेहनत के बदौलत आज इस मुकाम को हासिल किया है।
कल जब इन्होंने सेंचुरी मारी, आपका फर्स्ट रिएक्शन क्या था? आपको एक्साइटमेंट थी, हैप्पीनेस थी, आपको लगा था कि ये तो करना ही था? सुना है कि वो बोल के गए थे आज तो बहुत मारेंगे।
हाँ, वो बोल के गया था, अपने पापा से बातचीत हुआ था। एक्चुअली जब वो पहला मैच खेल रहा था तो उसका बैटिंग ओवरऑल बहुत अच्छा बैटिंग किया था। सेकेंड मैच में थोड़ा सा कंफर्ट नहीं महसूस कर रहा था, लेकिन कुछ बातें चीत हुई थी हमारे और वैभव के बीच में, तो हमको लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं वो इस बात को समझ के अपने माता पिता
Oh, well, that's a spot of bother. Again, there's a bit of an audio problem. We'll try and get that fixed. Let me go across to Arjun Dev. Now, Arjun, you too are a coach. You're also someone who's scout. It's important for us to understand what exactly it is that you're looking, because there have been several bright spots in the past as well. Many have said that this one will be the next big star. How do you decide on who's going to go the long run? Who's going to go all the way across to not just the national but the internationals as well?
I don't think anyone's looking at a player with that in mind as to who's going to, be the next legend, who's going to be the next superstar, especially when you're building a team. I think when you're building a team, what you're really looking for is who fits into our team the best, who's most likely to, win us games of cricket, what fits into our combination really well. So as a scout, that's the first thing, right? You're not really looking at, building a superstar. Okay. But when I wear a coach's hat, yes, as a coach, you're trying to make your prodigy a superstar. You want to make them the best in the world, and you want all of that to happen quickly sometimes. So there are obviously two different hats here. And as a coach, you kind of identify that talent. I think there are different coaches have different ways or different measures that they look to. For some, it is the way a kid plays, the technique. For others, including me, is the attitude. Whether they have that hunger in them, whether they have the fight in them. Because I feel technique can be taught. Yes, obviously, I mean, talent is a given. I think talent you're blessed with. Without that gift from God, you're going to be struggling. Yes, there are varying degrees of talent, but as a coach, you then look at these different parameters, I feel, and then you say, okay, this kid is special. Let's go a little bit extra. Let's do that little bit extra for them and see where that takes us.
That's a very interesting point that you've made. Arjun, I think everyone will agree with you that yes, talent is a given, but it is the attitude as well. Let me take that across to Brajesh Jha ji. Young age से ही आपने देखा है सूर्यवंशी को. आपको लगता है कि उनका जो डिसिप्लिन था वही रीजन है आज उनको इस मकाम तक आने के लिए? बट ऑल्सो डू यू फियर अबाउट इसके बाद क्या, व्हाट नेक्स्ट फॉर हिम? क्योंकि हमने देखा है जब फेम आता है, जब ऐसा फैंडम उनको मिलेगा जो आज उनको मिल रहा है, बहुत सारे ऐसे यंग स्टार्स होते हैं जिनको समझ नहीं आता इसे हैंडल कैसे करते हैं. आप उसकी मेंटल ग्रूमिंग भी करते हैं क्या ब्रजेश झा जी?
एक्चुअली मैडम, वो जो भी कुछ है अपनी मेहनत की बदौलत है और मार्गदर्शन अपने सीनियरों का, माता पिता का, और डर तो इस उम्र के बच्चों के साथ डर लगा रहता है कि कहीं काम की दुनिया में कहीं खो ना जाए, लेकिन मार्गदर्शन माता पिता का भी और अपने सीनियरों का भी रहेगा. और सबसे बड़ा बात है कि वो मेहनत करने से कभी पीछे नहीं हटता है. आपको जान के बड़ा खुशी होगा, वो 2 दिन के लिए छुट्टी में भी है तो वो प्रैक्टिस करके ही कर जाता है, और उसके बाद वो टूर राजस्थान के लिए 2 दिन की छुट्टी मिला, प्रैक्टिस करके गया. अभी तो ऐसा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा, और जिस तरह का स्वभाव है वो इतना जल्दी नहीं, एक लक्ष्य निर्धारण है तो वो लक्ष्य वो पूरा करेगा. हमको नहीं लगता वो कभी ऐसा करेगा कि वो इतना छोटा इंडिया खेलने के लिए IPL एक रास्ता जरूर है, लेकिन वो 100% वो मुकाम नहीं है जो जिसके लिए आप मेहनत करते हैं. कहीं ना कहीं आप इंडिया के लिए मटेरियल है, आप उस पर फोकस करें. ये बस एक रास्ता है, जिस रास्ते पे आप अच्छे तरीके से चल रहे हैं आपका मार्गदर्शन सही है, आपके बड़े बड़े खिलाड़ियों के साथ कम उम्र में आपको प्रैक्टिस करने का, उनके साथ रहने का, कैसे लोग उस टाइम में इंडिया की हैंडल करता है, ये सब चीज उसको
जी।
पॉजिटिव लेगा तो आगे आने वाले टाइम में इसके लिए इंडिया की तरफ बहुत आसान होगा।
जी, एंड वी होप दैट ही इज गोइंग टू गो ऑल द वे। आप बिल्कुल आपने ठीक बात की दैट इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू हैव मेंटल ग्रूमिंग एज वेल। इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द टैलेंट, the consistency, but also the mindset that you are going to go a long way. IPL is just perhaps the first step, and I like the attitude where you have the coach himself saying this is just the step, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much Brajesh Jhasi हमारे साथ बनने के लिए. We are running out of time. Thank you so much, appreciated Rajiv and Arjun for joining us, and let's not forget it is the likes of you, scouts such as you, those who have trained, such as Rahul Dravid in this case as well, who bring in a lot to the table as well to scout the right talent and ensure that they go all the way around. Without a short break, don't go anywhere.